Boxing is one of the most exciting sports in the world, and over the years, one division has dominated our minds and given us one global superstar after another. That's right, we're talking about the heavyweights. And although the days of Mike Tyson, Muhammad Ali, and the other legends of their time have passed, the heavyweights of today continue to entertain us. Let's dive into some recent Fury, Usyk, and Joshua-related news. First up, what's next for the WBC champ Tyson Fury? He is one of the most compelling stories ever in combat sports. The guy had some demons, for sure, but we saw him fight them off. And it's no small task to beat addiction, guys, but he did it. And then in 2020, he clawed his way back to the WBC title. Not only that, he did it in incredible style, beating one of the most ferocious and powerful fighters ever. Yeah, Deontay Wilder versus Fury, too, was an incredible fight for sure. Ever since then, the giant of a man has defended his title 3 times, but it hasn't been free from controversy. The first defense was an incredible trilogy fight against Wilder, but the other two didn't get the fans excited, and it made sense. The people wanted to see Fury versus Joshua or Fury versus Usyk. Anyway, it doesn't matter now, and he remains the WBC champ. But what's next? Well, it looked like the fans were finally going to get what they wanted when it was announced that he and Joshua were in talks for a super fight in December, but unfortunately, it didn't work out. Yeah, Usyk's victory over Joshua probably had something to do with that, and it seems like the fans will be getting what they want because Usyk is set to take on Fury in the first unification heavyweight title match since 1999. Yeah, to say that his future in boxing is full of excitement would be an understatement. Next up, he thinks there's someone tougher than Usyk lurking in the division. Now the Gypsy King is set to take on Usyk at some point in the first quarter of 2023, and we all know the guy loves to dish out a healthy serving of trash talk. That's right, he doesn't let any opportunity to get into the minds of his opponents go. So, in true Fury fashion, the man's been talking about how the fight isn't a big deal. No, according to the WBC champ, there's another fighter in the heavyweight division that would be a much more formidable opponent for him, Joyce. Joe is a monster, for sure. The guy is a behemoth, and genuinely a very physically strong old-school boxer. Honestly, his style is kind of reminiscent of the great George Foreman, and out of the new blood in the heavyweight division, he's someone to watch. Remember, guys, he is 6 feet 7 inches tall, and the guy is an Olympic silver medalist. He's the real deal, and so even outside his interest in trash-talking Usyk, it makes sense for Tyson to talk about him. After all, if the Fury-Usyk fight somehow falls through, the next best option is without a doubt Joyce. But does that mean we agree with Fury's statements about him being a tougher matchup than Usyk? We don't know, guys. Let's talk about it. Coming up, how tough is Usyk actually? And is Fury right? It's a difficult question to answer, because when you think about it, it's undeniable that Joyce is a giant and much closer to Fury's size. For reference, our fighter stands tall at 6 feet 9 inches. Joyce is close behind at 6 foot 7, and Usyk is dwarfed in comparison at 6 foot 3 inches tall. That's a huge difference, guys, and it means no matter what, Alexander is at a huge physical disadvantage. So the question becomes, is he skilled enough that he'd make up for that physical gap and give Tyson a tougher fight than the Olympic silver medalist Joyce would? We think he has already answered that question. We mean, look at the guy's last 2 fights. Not only is he the unified cruiserweight champ, but the man also moved up to heavyweight and demolished the gigantic 6 foot 6 reigning heavyweight champion Anthony Joshua. That record alone speaks for itself. And while it's true that Joe is a fierce competitor, and it wouldn't be unrealistic to say he might be a future champion, the facts are Usyk is leagues above everyone in the division when it comes to skill, even Fury, and he's proven his mettle against a reigning champ. And just by the way, while Joyce is an Olympic silver winner, Usyk won gold. If you want proof of his toughness, just look at what he did to Joshua. Yep, he's been having a hard time. Following up, Joshua's been having a tough time. Yeah, he's been catching strays from everyone lately. Everyone knows that for the past 5 years, the heavyweights have been ruled by the three-headed monster that was Joshua, Wilder, and Fury, but now only Fury remains. Joshua was taken out by Usyk. The guy was outclassed, and Usyk proved to everyone he deserved to be up there with the likes of the Gypsy King. Anyway, on top of being defeated by the Ukrainian cat twice, Joshua's been having a horrible time. After his second defeat, the man had a full-on breakdown in front of millions of fans. He grabbed the mic and made a very cringeworthy speech where he talked about how great he was, even though he had just been beaten for the second time. Not only that, at the time, the war between Ukraine and Russia was raging, and Joshua made some embarrassing comments, displaying how little he knew of what was going on. It was hard to watch. Yeah, we get it. The man worked hard for his title, and it was an emotional moment, but it damaged his reputation. Fury, who's been trying to fight Joshua for 5 years, took this opportunity to lay into the ex-heavyweight champ, and he didn't hold back. Honestly, it was brutal. Following up, the fighter goes off on Joshua. As we mentioned before, he doesn't hold back when it comes to trash talk. The guy is merciless, face, and he goes after the mental fortitude of his competitors. He's been doing that for a while when it comes to his fellow UK heavyweight champ, but this last year, the talk reached levels never seen before. It's no secret in the boxing world that the two men have been trying to set up a fight for many years now, and Fury came very close to getting it done. We almost had a Fury versus Joshua fight, guys. It was supposed to happen in December. Well, the talks were supposed to be finalized in December. That's the ultimatum the WBC champ had given to his defeated counterpart, and now ex-champion. Unfortunately for all of us, the fight didn't happen, and Joshua didn't want to participate in Tyson's mental games. Plus, the guy was busy dealing with Usyk. However, he had a lot on his plate. But do you think the Gypsy King was so understanding? Yeah, no. He talked at great length about how horrible Joshua was as a fighter and how he'd been broken. He sprinkled salt into the guy's wounds when he mocked him for crying like a little girl after the second Usyk fight. Ouch! In his dismissal of Joshua as a proper competitor, Tyson talked about two huge fights for Joshua that would never happen: Joshua versus Fury and AJ versus Joyce. Following up, why it won't ever happen. The Gypsy King laid into AJ, and even though he's previously talked about how it would be an absolute shame if he retired without ever having fought AJ, he seems to have changed his mind. Yeah, it's not surprisingly honest. After all, AJ refused to play Fury's game of adhering to his December deadline for negotiations, and you can bet the King wasn't happy. He went on about how the former WBO heavyweight champ had lost 3 of his last 5 fights, and that he didn't have the guts to step up to the plate, unlike Chisora, who fought Tyson in December. He then talked about how Fury versus AJ was off the table forever. According to him, it was meaningless to think about it anymore, because the Gypsy King was going to fight the guy that destroyed AJ twice. Ouch! Yeah, it's a huge 180 from Fury, who said previously in the same year that the reason he wasn't retiring was that he needed that Joshua fight. But we get it. The fans didn't want to see it anymore, and frankly, no one deserves a shot at Fury more than Usyk. We mean, the Ukrainian holds all of the heavyweight belts, other than the old English one that rests across the belly of the giant Tyson Fury. So if you guys were hoping to see AJ take on Fury, yeah, sorry guys, it doesn't look like it's gonna happen. The champ just has too many better options at this point. Finally, Joyce versus Joshua, and why Fury thinks that won't ever happen either. As we mentioned before, for the last 5 years, the heavyweight division in professional boxing has been ruled by 3 kings: AJ, the Bronze Bomber, and the Gypsy King. But now suddenly, 2 of the 3 have fallen, and a bunch of new blood has appeared in the division. Usyk has taken the place of Joshua, and another monster, Joyce, has been carving his way through the heavyweights too. These new guys are the future of the division, and don't get us wrong, Wilder and Fury have a lot of fight left in them, but we don't know about Joshua. He was broken after his second loss to Usyk. Anyway, the Gypsy King has taken notice of the 6'7" giant Joyce, and it looks like if things don't work out with Alexander, Joyce will be Fury's next choice. Considering the new guy's potential and AJ's current circumstances, the WBC champ predicted that the best fight for AJ now was versus Joyce. It would give the once great ex-champ the perfect chance at a comeback, and the winner would be on track to fight for the title. Maybe the Gypsy King hasn't given up on his long-term goal of taking on Joshua. In any case, Fury predicted that this too was a fight that would never happen, although this prediction just felt like something he said to further rub salt into the wounds of the defeated AJ. Well, that's it for this one. Do you want more boxing-related content? Let us know in the comments below. And as always, like and subscribe. See you in the next one.